Hi, I'm James Mitchell from kitchensolutions.co.uk. I've been in the industry for nearly 22 years now, and for near enough all that time I've been selling Convotherm ovens. The new Convotherm Max has all the features that the customer needs at a price that is right. I'm going to hand you over to my friend Patel from Convotherm, who will give us some more detail on the Max ovens that are just the right amount of Combi oven you need in any kitchen situation. For any more details, please visit our website kitchensolutions.co.uk.
Well, thank you, James, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this digital culinary webinar around the Convotherm Max. My name is Paul. I'm one of the culinary members here at Wellbuilt UK, and it's my pleasure to host you today to look at all things around Convotherm and the Convotherm Max specifically. Before we go into the Max, I just want to have a quick overview of Convotherm as a brand for those who don't know Convotherm. Founded in 1976, Convotherm is a global manufacturer of Combi steamers based in Bavaria, Germany. We are part of the Wellbuilt family, and Convotherm has been an innovative company delivering some really great innovations into the food service sector. Things like the disappearing door, and more importantly, the key DNA to Convotherm is the advanced closed system, which we'll go into a bit more detail. Convotherm is renowned for its innovation, and a couple of years ago we launched the first AI Combi oven, which is the first artificial intelligent oven which allows no human interaction outside of loading the product into an oven. So there's some very innovative features and benefits that Convotherm have brought to the market. And just recently, as we know, is the Max. So today is all about the Max, and we're going to run through the key features and benefits around that product. As mentioned, Convotherm is part of a wider family. Obviously, we're part of Wellbuilt, so you may see some familiar brands in there, such as Merry Chef, Frymaster. Obviously, we do beveraging and dispensing, and that's supported by a number of other assets within the business from kitchen care, which is our service part. So we have our dedicated service engineers across the UK, and also we partner up with people like Kitchen Solutions to deliver the best products and service within the market. So as we said, today is all about the Max, but I want to just go into some of the key features around the key DNA around Convotherm, and that is the advanced closed system. So what is the advanced closed system? Okay, so the advanced closed system is basically, imagine a pot of water on a stove. You heat it up, all that energy in that water will go into the pot, boil the water, but then it's obviously releasing it into the atmosphere because you haven't got a lid on it, and you're just losing all that energy. The advanced closed system is like putting a lid on a pot. So what we are doing, we're able to retain all that energy to give us pure, really good steam saturation, and also lower energy and lower water consumption. Okay, so within the Convotherm 4, which is our flagship range, okay, that's called the advanced closed system. But within the Max, we're calling this the self climate control. The self climate control works in steam and Combi, which we'll go to in a bit more detail as we go along. All that does then is, obviously, as you're using the natural humidity of water within the cooking chamber, it will seal the unit off and make that a closed system. So additional benefits around the advanced closed system and using a closed system like that, it helps operating costs, okay? And this is specifically around our Convotherm 4 range, because obviously the Max is just launched, and obviously when that data is ready, we'll be able to share it. With an advanced closed system, this is our 10 grid, you're able to deliver up to 42% savings on water during the cooking process, and vice versa for cleaning and also heating up. As you can see from the chart there, you can see we're in green. The grey cells is a leading Combi brand within the market. And again, this is based on the advanced closed system and our spritzer models. Okay, so we'll go into details around that as well. So we have a vast variety of models from spritzer all the way to boilers. But within the Max, okay, we'll go to the Max in a bit more detail. Within the Max, these are just obviously spritzer based. So key things around the Max and the features around the Max. They only come in two sizes, a 6 and 10 grid. But we do give an extra shelf within the unit, so it's actually 7 and 11. As mentioned, they're electric and spritzer only. Okay, so spritzer, again, it might be direct injection or water injection, might be common terms used. That is where water is fed into the heating element directly in the cooking chamber, which is absolutely fine if you're cooking, a wide variety of products where you're doing a little bit of baking, or you're doing roasting, steaming, etc. Spritzer is absolutely fine. Other key features: it comes with a 7-inch glass display, which is fantastic. It's just like a mobile phone, really intuitive, and again, you can have categories and pictures in there to select. Don't worry too much about B2 software. That's an internal thing. We're moving from a type of software that we use in our old ovens to what is now on the Max. But the beauty about the Max is we have kitchen connect capability. So you can have Wi-Fi and LAN. So if you want to connect units to a cloud or together, or take data off there, you can do now. And then working on that, the energy part, we've still got, we've put in a triple glass door and obviously an LED light for better viewing within the chamber. So they're just some quick highlights of the Max and around Convotherm. So today we're now going to go into the culinary part to give you an insight into what the Max can actually do. And we've got 4 key blocks. We've got steam, combi, and convection, and obviously cleaning. Now I'm going to hand over to our corporate chef Andy, who is going to go through each of these elements in turn, and then obviously I can just recap in between. If you do have any questions as the video goes through, please feel to get in touch either through the chat function or with Kitchen Solutions directly after this. So without further ado, let's have a look at Andy going through the benefits of the Max and in steaming mode.
Hey there, my name is Chef Andy. I'm corporate chef by Convotherm at Melbourne. Today, I'm gonna tell you all the features about our steaming function in our new Convotherm Max. So most people think when we talk about steaming just of vegetables, but the Max can do much more. With the Convotherm Climate Management, I'm even able to do delicate items like proofing of homemade bread dough. The temperature range is from 30 degrees to 35 degrees. Sous vide cooking temperature range in Convotherm Max 42 degrees up to 55 degrees. Delicate items like dumplings, sausages by 80 degrees, perfect results. Rice, vegetables, the classic items, 100 degrees steam. For baked potatoes, quick steam from 100 to 130 degrees. Helps you to keep the product moist but force the temperature in the core. So you see, just ordinary steam. You have 5 opportunities to do the best food ever. And now to open up your mind, we do something special where you wouldn't expect to do this in steam. We are using now quick steam to do the best pulled pork ever. So for that, we are going into steam mode, adjusting the temperature to 125 degrees. And we are not working now with time, we are using our multi-core probe in our Max and setting the temperature to 95 degrees for the core. The only thing what I have to do now, I have to press the start button and you can see immediately the preheating starts to have the right environment. So in the meantime, where the Convotherm Max is preheating, I got time to prepare the final steps for my pulled pork. I fill it up with a little bit of stock. This gives us later some additional flavor for mixing. Alright, there we are. The Convotherm Max is ready to go. Just open the door, place the tray with the pulled pork in, and now take the core probe, put it in the center of the pork shoulder. And close the door with the slam door function. So from now on, I got time, Convotherm Max will take care and you will be surprised about the result. So the signal is there. Convotherm Max reminds me to take out now my pork shoulder, and you can clearly see this doesn't look steamed. This looks like a roast. So we have a nice coloration, and now I want to show you how soft it is. So for that, because we want to do pulled pork, I remove the skin. Normally the skin is important, crackling, but here we don't need the skin. And now I use my hands and it's just falling apart, and you can clearly see each structure. It's juicy. So now we are doing a little bit different pulled pork. We are not using the normal barbecue sauce style, we are doing the Cuban style, so that's more refreshing. So we have chili, we have garlic, we have lemon, so this brings the power. So like you see now, we have a beautiful pulled pork, and this one you can use for so many different things. We will now use it for the best burger in town. Now you can see, steaming in the Convotherm Max is much more than just steaming vegetables.
Well, that was a fantastic presentation. As you can see, that you don't just have to steam vegetables. You can do a wide variety of products within the Max using steam. So again, you can go as low as 30 all the way up to 130. So you've got a great variety of temperatures to do different things as well. So the pulled pork was a good example on how to do things in quick steam. But again, jacket potatoes at 130 because you're using really high temperature steam, but also a lot more hot air, where the hot air is heated up more to give you more caramelization. So just as a recap, then obviously if you wanted to do pulled pork, we're using it in steam, 125 degrees, so that's quick steam, but also using the core probe. Now remember, the core probe is brilliant because it gives you that extra helping hand, that guide to cooking things. So if you're not too sure the time and how long you should cook things for, then obviously using the core probe gives you that peace of mind. So always try and get in the habit of using your core probe, whether you're doing chicken, fish, or even joints of meat, etc. So that was steam. Okay, we're now going to go on to Combi. So Combi is again why you buy a Combi steamer. We're going to be using steam and dry air in combination to give you the best cooking results for mixed loading and for doing a variety of different other products. So back to Andy regarding Combi steam.
Hey there, my name is Chef Andy. I'm corporate chef by Convotherm at Welbe. And today I want to show you how Combi Steam actually works in our new Convotherm Max. Now we are coming to Combi Steam, the most important cooking method at all. That's the reason why people buy actually a Combi steamer. In our Convotherm Max, we have with our auto humidity always the perfect steam saturation. This allows you to actually do baking, roasting, gratinating at the same time, and each product gets the perfect amount of steam that it needs. Now I show you with a few examples how actually Combi Steam works. So you're tapping the chef's head, and in the center one you find Combi Steam. So now we are choosing a temperature of 170 degrees. That's more than enough for us to bake and roast inside the Convotherm Max. We are setting the time to infinity because we want to work later on with our tray timer. And the only thing that you have to do now is adjust the fan to level 3 for the best browning and evenness inside the cavity. We just tap the start button. The Convotherm Max goes automatically into preheating to create the right environment for our mixed products. All those different things we load now at the same time. One temperature, one cooking mode. But each individual product inside needs a different timing. So therefore we are using now our tray timer, where I can easily adjust each individual timer for each individual product. With the new LED lighting in the door, I can clearly see how the muffins are rising nicely, and I see the browning starts on the toasties. The tray timer always reminds me when it's time to take one of my products out of the cavity. And now look to this browning of the toasties. Perfect browning, absolutely crunchy but not dry. And with our black baking tray I can turn it and I have exactly the same browning and crispiness from the bottom side. Also our bread rolls coming out just perfect, brown and crispy. That's how we want them. The muffins, you see the volume is like 3 times higher than it was before. This is with the perfect steam situation. Perfectly brown. And now let's have a look inside. Oh, absolutely fluffy. Look to our rosemary potatoes, nice browning, got a crisp outside. And when we open it, it's soft and it's not dehydrated inside. Our pasta cutting, look at the surface, even, brown. But when I take the spoon now and take a portion out, you see the cheese is just soft. It's not rubbery, it's not oily. That's how we want our cheese, perfectly melted. And last but not least, we got our chicken on root vegetables. You see also here the skin, nice brown, crispy, and the meat inside, absolutely juicy. And all the root vegetables below got all the flavor that we want. You can see here now what is actually possible to do in Combi Steam. So this speeds up your cooking process in your daily business massively. It saves time and it saves money because you load everything together that fits from temperature and cooking method at one time. And with our Convotherm Production Manager, you have everything under control. The results are always getting perfect. What has to be brown, it will be brown and crispy. What has to be fluffy, will be fluffy.
So again, another fantastic overview regarding Combi. So again, within Combi, you can bake, roast, gratinate, and do a whole manner of different things within Combi Steam mode. And what was interesting to see there as well is obviously we're using the tray timer. So again, if you wanted to just set a certain temperature, you can do rolling cooks within your environment. So again, if you're working in a high volume CPU or a school where you've got a certain peak time where you need to do a lot of production, then the tray timer is fantastic in the production management system. Again, interesting things like toasties as well. People don't think you can do toasties in a Combi. Andy did it in there for 170 degrees in Combi for 7 minutes. You can go higher and do it quicker. So typically, you always use Combi because the steam within the cavity will gives you a much better retention structure to the bread. But typically, we've gone to 215 in Combi, and we can get that down to about 4.5 minutes. So again, if not just in a restaurant or cafe environment, but it's definitely in a cafe environment, you can set the oven up to run constantly 215, and you can do rolling snack items like sandwiches, pizzas, etc. But Combi is also great for large dishes as well. So again, when you're 1x1 gastronome lasagnas, joints of pork, joints of meat, you can obviously use them in Combi as well. So again, using the core probe for things like joints of meat, you cook at slightly lower temperature, possibly, depending on the size of the joint, to about 150, 145, and use Combi as well. Now, a lot of people talk about, can I change the humidity within the oven? Now let's go back to when we talked about the self-climate control. Remember we talked about this closed system? By having this closed system, we've created an environment where we've got the right amount of moisture, and we can detect that within the cooking chamber. So we don't need to add moisture in there. Okay, the oven does it automatically for you. If it's got too much moisture, it will compensate with a bit more dry heat. If it's too dry, it will add a bit of moisture. So you don't have to worry about how much moisture you need to add. If there is certain products you do need to add moisture to, you can override that by using what's called Humidity Pro, and you can add up to 3 levels of additional moisture into the cavity. But the majority of the time, let the oven do the hard work for you. Remember, the self-climate control is why we're able to do that type of feature in cooking. So going on to the final one, this is again going to be a bit more in depth. We're going to be looking at roasting chicken, 222 kilos of chicken, as well as doing some baking products in convection. So we'll go back to Andy to cover the convection part of the presentation.
Hey there, my name is Chef Andy. I'm corporate chef by Convotherm at Welbo. And today we have a look into how convection air, roasting, grilling and frying works in our new Convotherm Max. Let's go to convection air. Simple, dry, hot air. It's perfect for roasting, grilling, frying, baking. But to get the most out of it, you need the right trays. The black tray for perfect baking and roasting, the grill for perfect intense grill marks, and the frying baskets for crispiness all around. In convection air, we have a wide range of different cooking applications. We want to start with baking and perfection, then we want to go into roasting, grilling and frying in an a la carte situation, and then we have a look into frying of crispy chicken in a fully load. Let's start with baking, and therefore we are using now our cookbook. Here I can find Convotherm profiles, and also I can create my own one. Working with profiles is the most easiest way. It's all icon driven, and you can see I can swipe up and down. I'm selecting now the picture of the croissants, and immediately you can see the profile actually shows up. And here you see we are in convection air, we are using 165 degrees, the time you see is 19 minutes and 30 seconds. And here we are using now a feature called Bake Pro that you find under the plus. It's activated on level 3. And with Bake Pro, we are actually able to use frozen, pre-proofed croissants, what you normally have to defrost it. We can go from deep frozen directly inside without thawing time. What you need outside 30 minutes for it, we are doing in 3.5 inside the Max. So you can see all the settings to achieve best croissant quality are already set. All I have to do now is tap the green start button and the Max goes automatically into preheating. Preheating is finished, and here you see now this massive amount of raw unbaked croissants. So we just fill up every shelf position inside our Convotherm Max, but thanks to our airflow management, there is no more hot and cold spots. The top, the center and the bottom tray all will look the same. Perfect, brown, fantastic volume. The croissants are ready. Let's take them out and place them all on our counter to show you the evenness and the perfect volume. This is the best croissants ever. Fully loaded, every croissant looked the same. When I look inside, just perfectly baked. And with our black baking tray, when I flip it around, you see also the bottom side crunchy and crispy. That's actually what we want. Let's convert this bakery now into a nice a la carte restaurant situation. And here I prepared a lot of different items already for you. Here we go now for roasting, grilling and frying. We want to do some tomahawk steaks. We want to have some breaded meats, we want to grill some salmon, some grilled vegetables, antipasti, some potato wedges and some grilled corn chops. How is it in an a la carte situation? It's busy. People forget something. To make the life easier for the chefs, we are using now our automatic cooking feature, Press and Go. Here you see now categories. You can always create your own category, and we are using now the category a la carte. And under this category, you see all the products that I just mentioned before. I'm choosing now my first product, and this will be the potato wedges. And immediately you see the Convotherm Max goes into preheating. The preheating is finished, and you can see now the tray view pops up. The beauty here is that I'm not adjusting any time or temperature. I'm actually adding the profile on the shelf position that I want. And for our potato wedges, I'm starting now from top to bottom, so I'm selecting tray position number 1. So now I want to add another product. So I press the plus, that brings me back to my profile selection. So the unit actually offers me all the profiles that fit together with my potato wedges. So now I'm choosing breaded schnitzel. You saw all the products on the counter, so I fill up now our tray view with all the profiles we want to cook. You can see now all the shelves are occupied, but the only thing you see is the name and the time that is clocking down. We don't have to think about time, temperature, cooking mode or extra features. All actually is done with our production manager, with our press and go. And that means for me that whoever is actually using my equipment, the steak, the veggies will always coming out in the same quality. So the Convotherm alerts, and with the tray view I can see exactly which tray I have to remove. Everything is done now. You can see we have all the products here in front of me on the counter, and we have fantastic grilled tomahawk steaks, nice brown and crispy breaded schnitzel. We have grilled vegetables with nice grill marks on. We have our grilled corn chops. Also the potato wedges are nice, crispy all around. We have grill marks, we have crispiness, we have browning. And with the right trays we just used, you don't see any difference that this was made 100% in our Convotherm Max. This looks like out of a fryer, out of a grill, and just perfect. We did 3 different main courses, including the sides, and we didn't talk at all about time, temperature or cooking mode. This is Convotherm production management. So now after this fine dining a la carte grilling, let's put the Convotherm Max in a stress test. I prepared therefore a fully load of raw marinated chilled chicken. And these we want to make brown and crispy at one time. I created a profile for those chicken and I find it in the cookbook. Now I select the chicken. And let's have a look what is going on inside the profile. We can see we are still in convection air and we are using 230 degrees, but you see the time is only 18 minutes. That's probably not enough for a fully load of raw marinated chicken. But when we look down there, we can see we have a 2-stage recipe. So let's have a look over there. And we see there is another 12 minutes, 230 degrees, still convection here, but now with crisp and tasty to ensure that the chicken is also getting brown and crispy. Raw marinated chicken contains a huge amount of water, and with crisp and tasty we are releasing the steam that helps us in the first step to keep the chicken moist, and now we want to make it brown and crispy. All the profile settings are there. The only thing I have to do is press the start button. The Convotherm Max goes automatically into the preheating. So the Convotherm is hot, ready to load up the chicken inside the oven. And I'm starting from position number 1. And as you can see, I'm using now 11 shelves. So here we have an additional extra tray again, that means 2 extra kilo of grilled chicken. That's pure money for me. When we have a look inside, here you see now the advantage of those frying baskets. The hot air makes the chicken all around, top to bottom, brown and crispy. The Convotherm gives us the signal that the chicken is ready. Let's open the door and take the chicken out. It's 22 kilos of perfectly brown and even crispy chicken. From top to bottom, all looking the same. And let's have a look inside how juicy they are. So you can see I just chopped the chicken leg in half through the bone, so there is nice maroon color, no blood is coming out, so that means it's fully cooked, and that's just pure enjoyable to eat. Outside crispy, inside juicy, 22 kilos in just 30 minutes. Perfect quality.
So that was the final cooking chapter in the series. Obviously, that was around all about convection air. So that was obviously ideal and great for doing roasting, grilling, frying, and obviously baking. So from that presentation, obviously, Andy did croissants, but you could be doing par-baked bread as well, or any type of pastry product. So again, using Bake Pro, which is another key feature, that allows a small amount of water to be put into the cavity, some resting time, and then it goes straight into the bake profile, and that gives you a much better shine, volume, and obviously sometimes will allow for no thawing of the product, so a bit more consistent cooking. So Bake Pro, again, great for feature for bakery stuff, but at the same time, we stress test the oven looking at the convection mode and crisp and tasty. So remember, we talked about the self-climate control, keeping moisture and energy in. Crisp and tasty is obviously letting it out, because obviously we want to get really dry, aggressive air onto products to allow products to become crispy. That improves the flavor and therefore makes it more tasty. So we did 22 kilos of raw chicken on 11 shelves in 30 minutes. And as you can see, Andy used a two-stage profile there. So 235 for 15 minutes, and then 235 50 minutes with crisp and tasty. So we always use crisp and tasty majority of the time at high temperatures. So anything from 215 upwards gives you really fantastic results. More importantly, using the right accessory as well. We use what we call a fry basket, which allows the air to go around that product. If you did it on a tray, yes, you'd get okay results on the top, but the bottom won't be as crispy as you would through a basket. So obviously we talked about the pastry side of things, and again, using the correct trays gives you the best results in Bake Pro. And also we did grilling, so we've got Pacific grill trays where you can do grilled vegetables, fish, steaks, etc. And again, looking at the temperature, 225, high temperature. But again, we used the core probe for the steak to 48 degrees to make sure we got the right accurate cooking temperature. And then with the vegetables, with just 8 minutes. So again, in convection, a fantastic mode of cooking, and crisp and tasty gives that absolute fantastic finish to products that need crisping up, whether that's bread, steaks, vegetables, and breaded products as well. So things like fish fingers, chips, absolutely fine using the crisp and tasty baskets. Fish fingers, for example, you're looking at 237 minutes, from frozen. Now, after a busy day's cooking, we're going to go to the final block, and then we'll finish there. But we're going to look at cleaning now within the Max.
As you can see, after a hard working day and after a lot of roasting, the Convotherm Max is oily, it's greasy, and has a lot of dark spots. So here now we start our fully automatic cleaning. And I'm selecting now just the water drops on the user interface. This brings me now to the cleaning selection. So here the beauty is I can actually find the right cleaning level that I need for my oven. On top, we can see a water flush. This is not really a cleaning, this is for during the day when you have a few burned bits and pieces like breadcrumbs flying around, then you just can make an 11 minutes water flush. Then we have express cleaning. This is also meant for during the day cleaning. That means it only takes 30 minutes in this case. This allows you with chemicals to make a quick cleaning in between. There is a rinse on the bottom. So when your oven is in a front cooking area, just make a rinse, and then the stainless steel is more bright and shiny again. Here now I can choose between light or heavy cleaning. For now, since we've done so much roasting, I will choose the heavy cleaning. And immediately the unit tells me to open the door and have a look inside, that there is no more food items, trays or baskets are left inside that could interrupt the cleaning cycle. Most of the chemicals are really aggressive, so you always have to wear protecting gear. What you see here is history. In the Convotherm Max, you don't need gloves or tablets. Actually, you're not getting in contact with any chemicals at all. It starts the fully automatic cleaning by itself, and because it's a recirculating cleaning system, it's also environment friendly. And that means it consumes the minimum amount of water and chemicals. So you don't have to stay around during the cleaning. You can do this at the end of the day and you can go home. The Convotherm Max is going in a standby mode. That means at the moment you're coming back, the unit is ready to use again. The unit looks always like brand new.
Well, that's it for the presentation. I hope you did find it interesting and took some good things away from it. The cleaning part was obviously fantastic. Remember, we've got 5 levels of cleaning within the oven. You don't need to touch any chemicals, and obviously that's just great for safety. That's it for today. I hope you found it as a recap. Remember, the Max comes in 2 sizes, a 6 grid and a 10 grid. But remember, we give an extra shelf in both models. There's a whole heap of features that come with the Max as well, so it's it's got all the right features within it, not too much and not too little, but at a really good affordable price. So if there are any questions, then please feel free to get in touch with Kitchen Solutions directly. Again, they'll be able to help to support you on pricing and all the things around the oven. So for more information, if you need any more information on the Max, you can visit our website at convotherm.com/max. Alternatively, speak to the team at Kitchen Solutions and they'll be more than happy to help you. So that's it from me. Thank you very much again for your time and for joining us. We hope you had a fantastic session with us, and we look forward to seeing you shortly in a demo kitchen soon. Thanks very much and good afternoon.